Happy Friday! The game everybody has circled on the calendar tomorrow. Alabama, Texas A&M from Bryant-Denny. Tuscaloosa is wild, crazy, insane, jam-packed. Eli, the last time the vibe was this thick. 2019, Alabama, LSU, where former President Donald Trump was in attendance. It's just that thick, if not even thicker, this weekend. The 2012 BCS National Championship team will be honored as well for the Crimson Tide. Without further ado, you're rocking and rolling right now on the hottest show on the streets, bringing you that fire. When you talk Crimson Tide football news, in my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. We're bringing you the show from the magic city of Birmingham. We're streaming this to you on YouTube. And speaking of the channel, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, smash subscribe right now. Let us know you're feeling us, you rocking with us. This is your channel, your network, your platform for all things Bama. Also, don't forget to leave a like. Hit that thumbs up, smash the like button, run those likes up. Let's get this show to 50 likes right now. 50 likes right now here on the show. We appreciate you guys. Turn on all those notifications as well. Hit that little bell so that way you miss nothing on your Bama football. We got you covered on Facebook and Twitter as well, streaming to you the show. And we have a good one on this evening, and we want to hear from you, the exciting fans of Bama football. You can do this by calling 205-448-1358, the number 2. Call in, let your voice be heard on the show, 205-448-1358. And one more time, 205-448-1358. Don't let tonight roll by without making your opinion known on the platform here. The Daily Super Chat Go, $75. Daily Super Chat Go. Appreciate you guys. Well, Eli, let's jump into topic number 1 here of the discussion, that being for Alabama, the quarterback Bryce Young Jr. for the Crimson Tide. So much information, speculation, thoughts happening on will Bryce play, will he not play, will Alabama have the Heisman Trophy winner out there against Texas A&M, or Alabama choose to rest Bryce Young against A&M. So many reports going out there, but Nick Saban told ESPN's Chris Lowe on Thursday that Bryce is a game-time decision for A&M for this matchup right here. Young has been doing more things in practice each day. He's been doing a little bit more throughout drills each day. Now, of course, Saban has not been showing the quarterback some pictures. We were not suggesting that he would do that. We anticipated that he wouldn't do that at all. He has not been showing videos of the quarterbacks in practice. We had an idea that he wouldn't do that either, showing the ultimate gamesmanship, if you will. But he has practiced. Young has practiced some this week. He's done a bit more each day. I think from Tuesday to Thursday, he's done a bit more. So he has been in practice. The question comes down to, how comfortable is Bryce? And Saban mentioned that pain tolerance, right? That pain threshold. He's such a competitor. He wants to be on the field. He wants to play really badly and be out there with his teammates. And, there's this thing called, I gotta save a player from himself because he's just that competitive. And you don't want that competitiveness bleeding into jeopardizing your health, so to speak. But at the same time, Nick Saban is also the type of coach that goes, if you feel like you can play, you can give us your best, and you can give us your best, but I'm going to put you out there. If the medical staff feels like you can play, and the medical staff feels like we're going to get you at your best, then you can go out there. So the final decision comes down to Bryce and Bryce's dad, Mr. Craig Young. That's what it comes down to. But if Bryce feels like, Coach Saban, I can do it, I can go, I feel good, I feel fine, then Saban is going to roll the dice and have him out there. But Young, a game-time decision. I will definitely be keeping my eyes on warm-ups How does he look in warm-ups? Which guy is snapping him the ball, whether it's Dorian Dalcourt or Seth McLaughlin. But I will definitely have my eyes on Bryce Young in warm-ups. This may be the biggest warm-up you'll be able to see, Eli. This may be the biggest warm-up you'll be able to see. Trying to see, will Bryce Young be able to take that field? Now, in the event he doesn't go, a lot of U.S. fans confident in Jalen Milroe, as you should be. He went out there against Arkansas, did a great job last week, came in during the second quarter, steadied the ship, stabilized everything, snatched the momentum from Arkansas when it looked like Arkansas had grabbed it all. Alabama was up 28-23 in the fourth quarter. Jalen Milroe, big 77-yard run to set up the Jace McClellan touchdown. Alabama pushes the lead back out 35-23. Ultimately won the game 49-26. So Milroe played with poise, played with confidence. The team very confident in what he can do. Coach Saban has talked about the players around him understand what his skill set is, what he brings to the table. They've played exceptionally strong around him this week in practice. So in the event that Bryce, Milroe's prepared, Milroe's ready. I remember we conducted a poll for Touchdown Alabama magazine on YouTube on should Alabama start Milroe over Bryce Young, and over 4,000 of you, 4.6 thousand of you voted in the poll. 78% said start Milroe in this game. Get this young man some reps out here as a starter in this matchup. So we'll see what happens. He's ready to go. He's prepared to go should you need him. But according to Coach Saban, he mentioned Bryce Young game time decision. So we will see in warm-ups how Bryce looks. We will see in warm-ups if he's able to go, if he's comfortable to go, can he give it a go? I think either way, Bama is putting itself in the quality position to win the football game, win the matchup, but we will see how Saban plays it. We will see how Bryce feels, but that's just the latest update there on Bryce Young coming from one Nick Saban. We're going to go to our first break here on the show. Don't touch that dial. We're just getting started. Upon our return, we go those phone lines. We grab your calls, your thoughts, your donations, your conversations on a Friday. We get to you, the Bama fans, after this.
You're watching In My Own Words with Stephen M. Smith, brought to you by We Own the Fourth Quarter. Get your four-finger bling necklace today by visiting weownthefourthquarter.com. Throw them foes up.
9 players have teamed up and released the Alabama Team Paper, which is a video yearbook they've put out for sale direct to fans. Now, for the first time, small dollar purchases from the fans can support the players as a group as well as a great cause, because $1 of every subscription payment is donated to the Boys and Girls Club of America. Be a 5-star fan base and support your team and a great cause with Team Paper. Check it out at teampaper.com/Alabama.
Remember the taste of Grandma's delicious sweets? Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes brings back those precious memories with just one bite. Each cake made from scratch. They make the perfect dessert to share with family and friends for any occasion, and ordering is easy. Visit emily'sheirloompoundcakes.com. Click the online store and shop. Then pick up your fresh cake at the kitchen in downtown Homewood. Order yours online at emily'sheirloompoundcakes.com. Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes, making memories from scratch.
All right, folks, we're back into the action from the break. Hottest show in the streets, covering your Crimson Tide. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA on a Friday. Tomorrow, Bama, Texas A&M, Bryant Denny, and Tuscaloosa. The game we've all had circled on the calendar since last season, and the recruiting situation that happened in the spring between Jimbo Fisher and Nick Saban. It all boils down to tomorrow night. 7 p.m. Central Time kickoff. CBS has the call on the game, and right now we go to the phone lines to grab your calls. The call segment brought to you by the Blue Wrench Gang. 205-448-1358. But I'm going to call in 205-448-1358. We grab this call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
What's going on, Steven? It's your boy, Coach Smoot, man. How you doing, brother?
Man, I can't complain, Coach Smook. I can't complain, man. Tuscaloosa's packed. It's wild. It's crazy. I think everybody under the planet is in T-Town right now. I've said that it feels like 2019 Bama LSU, where just everybody and their great-grandmama was on campus. Everybody and their great-grandmama's on campus right now.
And I think that's the way it should be. This is a big weekend. We talk about a big recruiting weekend. We talk about a big momentum weekend, a weekend that we can use, a game that we can use to carry momentum into a big Tennessee game. For the first time in a long time, we got some back-to-back games that really mean something because of all the questions that have been arising up until this point. And we see our team continue to grow, Stephen. And a couple of things I just want to point out. One, the offense. Jalen Milroe needs to start. I think this is, if you want to have your contingency solidified, you want to have your backup solidified, let him go out and let him play this game and work through whatever adversity he experiences, and just trust in the fact that he's trusted the process. I believe last week he showed great poise, even though he showed nervousness, which anybody would. You know, you're in probably one of the loudest stadiums in the SEC. And for him to keep his composure and withstand, all the bad plays that were happening, all the mishaps that were happening in that third quarter, that showed great promise. And then you seen once he settled down, man, it was like he was unstoppable. And that Arkansas front seven is not no push around. That O-line, they believe in Jalen, and he trusted them. And when it was time for him to take what he can get, he took it. And you see what happens. He doesn't hesitate. And I think that benefits even the receivers, because now DBs can't just solely play one-on-one coverage on our receivers. They have to be aware that this quarterback is going to break outside. And when he breaks outside, he's not going to shy away from running me over. So I have to be aware and make this contact and try to take him down. So I feel like Jalen Milroe just gives us another asset and another level to this offense. And I think he needs to be implemented a lot more. I don't think Bryce Young would be partial to going out to the wide receiver spot for decoy plays like Lane Kiffin used to do with Jalen and Tua. We forget about those. Kiffin was there with Tua and Jalen. So yeah, it's just one of those things, man. You just want to see something different from Bill O'Brien as we move forward. But for tomorrow, definitely let Jalen go. And then on the defensive side, can we see more Lawson and Moody combination? Can we? I know Burrows is going to get heavy starts. Can we, once Burrows shows that he's the guy, even though Boise has been playing great, he's been playing good, but we have way more effective push with that guy, with Burrows and Otis in there at the same time. So you got to use those guys. You got to use the strength now. We're at a point now, Steven, there shouldn't be any more competition at any position. I think we found our two solid corners in Kool-Aid and Terrion Arnold. And I know, I don't know, is Branch going to be available tomorrow? If not, I say work Kool-Aid at that nickel spot and let Ricks finally get a chance to prove himself, and see what he does. See if he's really paying attention. See if he's really locked in, and don't hesitate to sit him back down, because I really don't like his attitude. So at this point, Steven, in the season, I think it's just personnel. It's no longer can we do it. Can we keep the right personnel on the field? And I think Pete Golden is doing a great job with defense. Luckily, Otis and those guys up front are making more of a push and impact to be able to hide toe-to-toe, but it's kind of hard to hard toe-to-toe, hide hugging Henry toe-to-toe when he's making late plays, stupid hits at the end of plays, and just not playing smart Bama football. So those are a few things I want to look forward to tomorrow. Just seeing a lot of rotation, get us deep in our depth. And then last thing, my score prediction, Steven, I'm thinking if we come out locked in, we can go 49-12, 49-10. I don't see A&M being able to score, especially with a freshman quarterback coming out. But I will say this, Alabama has always been suspect to freshman quarterback, new quarterbacks that really go in with an I don't care attitude and are slinging the ball. So if we don't come out fired up, I believe they can make it close and make it a game. But I feel like we're at a different level right now. So I'm going to go 49-12. That's going to be my final prediction. So Appreciate you taking my call, and roll tide to everybody in the chat, Steven.
Appreciate Coach Smoke, Senator Hines, starting us off here on a Friday. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a really good game between Alabama and Texas A&M. Defensively, when it comes to Brian Branch, I know he suffered a slight injury there against Arkansas. Coach Saban said it was nothing serious, so I expect Branch to be in that star position there against A&M. Now, if he's not, definitely Kool-Aid would be there, and you could have Eli Ricks in that other corner spot just to see how much he has grown in terms of the defense. But we take this call. You're live on the show. What's going on? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Hey, Steven, this is Michael from Columbus, South Carolina. How you doing?
Doing great, Michael, and yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
I can't complain, man. We got Bama and Texas A&M tomorrow. I'm ready to go.
Me too, Steven. To be honest with you, man, I've been waiting for this game pretty much since Monday came. I've been waiting for this game, man. This game, one of the games that I've been talking about for so long. Texas A&M and Alabama going to be a big game. I was watching Nick Saban's on Head Coach last night, so I see where he said that that it'll be a game time decision when we get down to see who starts, whether it's Miro or Bryce. And like I said again, the only way I see Bryce playing if he gets the injection. A lot of people want to see Bryce play, but to me, it would be better to have him, sit this game, whether to have to possibly lose him for the rest of the season. So, I said it before, I think you start Galen Miller, yes, you do lose some of the passing game, but the running game to me is what's going to excel in this game. You get Jalen Miro, Jahmyr Gibbs, these guys are complete speedsters. I mean, I think Miro's like the fastest guy on the team. Is that right, Steven?
Yeah, he is.
So that's my thing. I mean, the passing game, might not be that effective, but to me, the run game is big. And like I said, Steven, let me know this is how you feel. But with Miro, if Miro does start, do you believe that potentially, because now with Jimbo, we're kind of in the same situation that Jimbo's in. Jimbo doesn't know, who's going to be starting, whether it's Bryce or Miro. So, let's say if Miro does play this tomorrow, do you think that it would make Jimbo a little bit more kind of nervous coming to the game, not knowing there's a different quarterback that he hasn't seen, play before?
I wouldn't say it would make Jimbo Fisher nervous. However, I will say this. It is hard preparing for two quarterbacks, especially when you have to. I go back to even the SEC championship game between Alabama and Georgia in 2018. Georgia was prepared for Tua. Tua gets hurt. Here comes Jalen. And a lot of the Georgia defenders were like, we were not prepared for that. Even though we know they have both of those two quarterbacks, we were not prepared for Jalen. The very same thing in the 2017 season, the 2018 title game, Georgia was prepared for Jalen, but when Tua came off the bench as a freshman to provide more juice, passing the football, Georgia was not really prepared for that, and we saw it happen. So it's difficult preparing for two quarterbacks. So if Milroe starts, it's going to be a situation where Jimbo's going to have to adjust sort of on the fly and make those in-game adjustments. He and the A&M's defensive coordinator, Mike Elko, they're going to have to make quick adjustments.
And then two more down. I'll let you go, Steven. Secondly, with the offensive line, I touched on this before. To me, the one thing that I'm still trying to figure out here with the O-line is with the center position, which is where Darian Dalcourt is. And I said it before, I really do believe that Seth McLaughlin should be at that position because to me he plays better. I mean, he's not, he's about 297, 298 pounds. And you do lose the kind of, bigness that Darian Dalcourt has because he's about 310, 311 pounds. And you lose that. But to me, I've seen McLaughlin on the line. To me, he just seems more better fit to be at the center position than Darian Dalcourt. The same as how I feel with Javion Cohen. I feel like Javion Cohen is good, but I believe that Tyler Booker should also, to me, at the same Tyler Booker play, I believe that he should also be, taking over for Javen Cohen. But I understand that you want Cohen there. I mean, how do you feel about that, Stephen?
When it comes to the offensive line, Michael, I look at McLaughlin should start at center. Seth McLaughlin should start. I mean, I understand there are guys that Nick Saban just gravitates toward. I get that. But when you see the film and the film don't lie, Seth McLaughlin should be starting. When he's out there at center, it's a completely different offensive line. It's a different group. They're hungrier. They're meaner. They get at their defenses and opening up the run game. So McLaughlin should start at center. In terms of left guard, I like Cohen. I like his experience, but I do agree Tyler Booker should be in there more at that spot, just due to he brings that physicality, that toughness, that meanness, that aggressiveness at that position. And it's not just Nick Saban saying that about Booker, but it's Tyler Steen, it's Roydell Williams, it's other players that when you bring up Tyler Booker, the adjectives of mean, aggressive, nasty, physical are being used. And when these words are used by more than one person to describe a particular player, you got to put that guy on the field more.
And my last question, Stephen, is kind of a two-part, but will we see more of Christian Leary? I know we talked about Tyler Harrell. Will we see Tyler Harrell potentially make his return, along with seeing more JoJo Earl and Isaiah Bond, those guys? And then lastly, how do we, and I've heard Nick Saban say this multiple times, how do we block out the rat poison?
Well, I'll get to the rat poison one first. It's just doing your responsibility and focusing on just the team goal. The team goal. I understand that, people like to read what's going on in social media, but focus on the team goal. That's how you take care of not being so drawn to the external factors. But then, of course, with the wide receivers, I can see more Bond being worked in more. I can see more of Kobe Prentice. In terms of Tyler Harrell, this should be his week. I think it is his week. This should be his week. He's been practicing all week. This should be the week that we get to see the debut of Harrell. And I'll be looking in warm-ups tomorrow to see, number 8, how much is he out there? Is he fully participating out there? So this should be the week here for Harrell. But appreciate my man Michael from South Carolina for that call, giving us his thoughts here on the show. We grabbed this call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How are we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Hey, how you doing, man? My name is Jamal, calling from Ohio. Roll Tide. How you doing today, sir?
Doing great, Jamal, and yourself?
I'm great, man. I'm blessed, man. Been listening to your show for the last couple of weeks now. I'm a fan. I just want to call in to give some input on what you think. So my first thing is Roydell Williams. I believe that's his name, the running back. I feel like he doesn't get as much talk as he should. That is probably the pound-for-pound, downhill, old-fashioned Alabama running back. And I feel like he should get more touches. I mean, do you agree?
I think he should. I mean, Roydell, in-state guy, played at Hueytown High School right here in the Birmingham area. Very strong, has improved his quickness. He's shifty now. When I watch Roydell play, I see a mix of the Mark Ingram shiftiness, but then also kind of that Josh Jacobs pinball ability. I see a bit of both, and I see a bit of both when Roydell runs. And now he's added some pass catching to his game. So he should get more touches. I know it's one ball, and it's kind of hard to get one ball to go around, but he should get more touches.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, those 3rd and 2 situations, those 3rd and 4, those 3rd and 1. Let's get back to old-fashioned Alabama football and run the damn ball. Okay, let's control the line. Let's get back. If we get back to the roots, we're going to look like the old Alabama. Okay, and I don't care who it is. There's no team in this country that can stop us if we play old-fashioned Alabama football. I think tomorrow Alabama wins, I would say 39-10, 39-12. I think the game that's kind of got me concerned is the Tennessee game. They're going to be, every team that plays us is like a championship game for that school. Like when we barely beat Texas, that was a championship game for them. Sarkisian was preparing for that game all year. you know, and people don't understand that. We're not, you know, yeah, Alabama is a juggernaut school, but there's going to be times where there's going to be teams like I feel like the margin between, you know, the Georgias, the Clemsons, the Alabamas, the Ohio States, and the schools like Missouri, that margin is getting slimmer and slimmer. You know, look at Appalachian State beating Texas A&M. Look at Marshall beating Notre Dame. You know, this has been I think you would agree, this has been a real quite different year. There's been a lot of upsets more than usual.
It's been a weird season. It's been a very weird season, and one where, I mean, like you mentioned, Jamal, you didn't look at or you didn't see a lot of these upsets coming, and it's more than just, I guess, the gap closing on the big schools versus some of the smaller tier teams out there, but it's also the focus. A lot of these smaller teams are coming in here focused. And they're coming in here believing that, hey, we can run with anybody. Like Appalachian State believe they can run with A&M. So you can't.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
You can't afford to overlook anybody. So, and that's the biggest message that Saban's been preaching. You can't afford to overlook anybody.
Absolutely. Look at Wake Forest. I mean, who honestly? If I wasn't a football fan and I looked on the paper and I seen Clemson versus Wake Forest, I'm like, oh, that's a blowout. But again, these teams are catching up. But back to Alabama, man. That's all I want to say is about the Roedale. I honestly think, Stephen, that we have the best offensive weapons in the country. The youngest and the best. I don't care about Ohio State. I don't care. I think we have the best offensive weapons in the state. And when people see Milroe, I honestly think that can be the next coming of Lamar Jackson. I don't want to put too much hype onto it. I get it. You know, this is really, he only played half a game so far, but the way he runs, I believe this will be the next Lamar Jackson, or possibly the next. I don't know, man. I think this offensive scare is going to be scary. But that's all I have to say, man. Roll Tide, and thank you for taking my call.
Appreciate Jamal from Ohio calling into the show. It's going to be a good game tomorrow, Eli. It's going to be a good game tomorrow between Bama and A&M. We're going to take this call. Here you're live on the show. What's going on? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Hey, Stephen. This is Mike from Kentucky. What's up, my brother?
Doing good, Mike, man. You got Coach Saban saying Bryce Young, game time decision. You got folks saying start Jalen Milroe. We will see how these pregame warm-ups look tomorrow.
Man, I'd give Bryce the week off. I would. I mean, you don't take a chance on that boy's arm. That's his future. You know, I mean, if he ain't dead skippy, got velocity and crispness in the release, let him sit. Texas A&M ain't going to be that big a deal. Did you pull up any of Jalen's high school film like I
did? I did. Boy slinging it.
That cat can spin it, bro. He could probably throw it further than Jalen. And then Bryce, I mean, if they stack the box, I think they're going to have designated hot routes. We can beat him through the air. That boy, he wouldn't have a scholarship at the University of Alabama if he couldn't spin a football. That cat's got a cannon for an arm. They just ain't going to let him ask too much of him too quick. You know, he'll throw a pick or two maybe. You know, you don't do that. That might shake his confidence. But I'm not the least bit worried about this game or Tennessee. You know, a lot of people, Tennessee's way overhyped. Did you watch that game, Tennessee, Florida?
I did.
Okay, remember them two blown coverages by Florida?
Yeah, buddy.
I mean, Florida wins that game if they don't completely blow two coverages. Tennessee ain't nothing to fret. I ain't scared of them neither. Not one bit. Well, anyway, I don't think it's going to make any difference who plays. I really don't. Like, man, we're set for the future and beyond at quarterback at the University of Alabama, man. Roll Tide, brother. I just wanted to touch bases and say, hey, Stephen, I'm going to be at the Iron Bowl this year. I'd like to meet you.
You know what, Mike? I'll be there too. I will be there.
Well, I got tickets 14 rows up on the 45-yard line. I'll be wearing a white long-sleeve short and red suspenders, man. If you see me, holler. If you're down on the sideline, you'll probably be on the sidelines with the press pass, but look, because I'm going to be looking for you, so look for me, brother. I'll holler at you.
Absolutely. Mike from Kentucky calling in right there. It's not the fact, Eli, that I'm concerned about who plays this game at quarterback. It's just I want to see Milroe play a whole game. Am I wrong for that? I kind of want to see Jalen Milroe play a whole game in this atmosphere to see what is the future of Alabama football. Because Bryce Young is going to go next level. He's going to go pro. So am I wrong for wanting to see what the future looks like? I don't know. We're going to take this call here. You're live on the show. What's happening? State your name and where you're calling from.
It's Robert from Mobile.
Rob, what's happening, brother?
I totally agree with you and just about all your callers. I don't think Bryce is starting tomorrow, and it is. I think it'll be good to have Miller out there to give him sort of more reps in a live game. He's shown that hey, I can do this, and it don't look as pretty as Bryce, but I can do this. And I think he's going to have to show an opportunity. We need to give him a chance to do it. Yeah, I mean, I disagree with your previous call in that I am a little nervous about Tennessee now. They're nothing to take light this year. They're the best Tennessee team we've seen in quite some time. So it's and they can score. That quarterback is slinging, and they finally have a decent offense. So it'll be a challenge against Tennessee. A challenge we haven't seen in quite some time out of them. So I'm a little nervous about it, and I want to take them lightly at all. But Texas A&M, it's one of those how are they going to score game, where they're going to get points from. I mean, I would feel insulted for the defense if Texas A&M managed to score 20 points in some kind of way. They shouldn't get over 20 points on Alabama, whereas Alabama should be able to get over 30, 45 points on them with just almost virtually running the ball. They're not great against the run. They're not great against the pass. They're not really good at anything at Texas A&M. So it's definitely a good game to get Milroe in, get him those key reps, let him get the feel of the game, and where he's not in a hostile environment where the offense can hear, where he can hear the team, they can hear him clap and that kind of thing. So and trusting, try to deep ball a few times. And get that running game in gear because, last weekend it was outstanding. Let's get 2 good run weekends in a row out of the offensive line. The offensive line shows that when they know it's going to be a run and no one's going to pull it away for a pass, they can run blocks pretty decent. And I think we're in good hands with Milroe. I think we just need to, give him another shot and give Bryce another week to rest. Hopefully Bryce will be ready for at Tennessee. I think Milroe can win in Tennessee, but it'd be really good to have Bryce in there to get so we get the offense in gear. That for the stretch run. But yeah, I think Saban's not gonna make the mistake he made with Tua a couple of years ago. And I think that mistake still haunts him. So he's gonna really not allow the players, as particularly the quarterback, I let himself go in when Saban doesn't think he should. And, he tried to be Tua's friend in that game rather than his coach, and that kind of backfired on him. So, Caden, sorry, man. You think Saban's your coach. He can't be your friend because if he does, he may make a mistake and let you do something that you don't need to be doing. He mentioned in his show to protect the players from themselves. That was pretty much the code word of, hey, there's a good chance he's not going to play. So I really don't expect to see him tomorrow. And with this, I guess with Milroe, right now we don't need him. It's let him rest and let him go get ready for down the stretch for the championship. All right, man.
Appreciate Robert from Mobile, his thoughts right there on the show. So we're going to go to a call topic right here. The call topic is on one Landon Collins, former Alabama safety, played from 2012 to 2014. Was a unanimous All-American, first-team All-SEC in 2014, two-time SEC champion, 2012 BCS national champion. Landon Collins is back with the New York Football Giants, where he spent his first 4 NFL seasons. He was taken in the second round of a 2015 NFL draft, played there from 2015 to 2018 before spending 3 years with the Washington football team, the Washington Commanders, and now he is back with the Giants. So big kudos to Landon Collins. Linking back up with the G-Men, joins Brian Dable, also joins former Alabama safety Xavier McKinney. He will serve as kind of a mentor there for McKinney. Landon Collins will. So big kudos to Landon. For everybody still in the calling queue, you can hold for the next 10 minutes or call back within the next 10 minutes. When we get back, we're going to dive into the keys to victory for Alabama in taking on Texas A&M. We'll jump into those keys right after this.
You know what we do at the start of the fourth quarter. We throw them foes up. But now you don't have to wait until the fourth quarter. Get your 4-finger bling necklace at weownthefourthquarter.com. It's the first and only logo that captures the essence of all Crimson Tide players and fans as we represent the legendary Alabama football fourth quarter dominance. Get your 4-finger bling necklace right now at weownthefourthquarter.com. Get yours today and stun on them haters. Touchdown Alabama Magazine is Alabama football's premier publication. A subscription to Touchdown Alabama Magazine is the perfect gift for any Alabama fan. For exclusive news and information, recruiting updates, a free annual print magazine, and more, go to touchdownalabama.com and click join. Only $7.95 per month or pay $74.95 for a full-year subscription. That's a yearly saving of $20. Go to touchdownalabama.com today and roll Tide.
All right, people, we're back into the action here from the break. Hottest show on the streets here, talking Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. On a Friday, Bama, Texas A&M. On tomorrow, 7 p.m. Central Time kickoff, CBS. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe. Also, make this your show, your network platform, channel, and space to talk Bama. Also, Bama fans, after the game tomorrow, don't forget the TDA post-game show. The post-game show with Justin Riley, Mike McCoy. We'll also be joined by Bo Scarborough, former Alabama running back, and Charlie Pepra, former Alabama defensive back, will be on the TDA post-game show following the matchup between Alabama and Texas A&M. But Eli, right now, we get into the keys to victory here for Alabama, taking on the Aggies, Bryant-Denny, in Tuscaloosa on tomorrow. Alabama trying to avenge its lone regular season loss from a season ago. That was against Texas A&M, where it fell 38-41 at Kyle Field, College Station, Texas. Field goal at the end, defeated the Crimson Tide. So we look at these keys here as Alabama ready for this game, amped up for this game. Like I mentioned, the vibe in Tuscaloosa is crazy right now. So number one, Alabama's defense, they've got to shut down Aggies running back Devon Achane. That's number one. Number two, Alabama's offensive line, that'll wear down this Texas A&M front and create the lanes for Gibbs and McClellan and Rodell Williams and Jamarian Miller and Trey Sanders and Jalen Milroe and all of these guys to run wild. And then number three, Bama's got to win the turnover battle. Got to create some turnovers. Can't give up any turnovers and give A&M life, and a team that will not have Max Johnson at starting quarterback. He's out for the foreseeable future. Haynes King, who's the backup, has struggled this year. 3 touchdowns, 4 picks. And they may even trot out their true freshman, Connor Waddington. I think that's his name right there. First name is Connor. But they may even trot out the true freshman if Jimbo Fisher selects to go that route. So shut down Devon Achane. Wear down the Texas A&M defensive front. That'd be for the Alabama offensive line. And win the turnover battle. Starting this thing off with Achane, he is their best offensive player. He is A&M's offense. I understand they've got guys like Evan Stewart, big-time receiver there. But with Anaya Smith out for the year, they're a really good receiver that was a converted over from running back. Devon Achane is their best player. And this is a guy that's got explosive speed, really good quickness, incredible burst and acceleration, great cutback ability, vision, agility, all-around player. all-around player and a guy that, leads the team in rushing, really good receiver out of the backfield, but on special teams, he can fly on kickoff returns. As a matter of fact, in last year's matchup with Alabama, he had a 96-yard kick return touchdown in that game. Keep your eyes on A-Chain. This Alabama defensive front, Otis, Byron Young, Jamil Burrows, these guys have got to, and also the linebackers, Moody, Henry To'o, Dallas Turner, Will Anderson, got to keep an eye on A-Chain. Can't allow him to get loose. He is their offense. And when he gets going, everything else for A&M gets going. And after Alabama gave up 101 yards to Raheem Sanders of Arkansas a season ago, got to clean up that run defense this week. Got to shut down Devon A-Chain. That's number one. So for Alabama's offensive line, here's a matchup where you can build off your success against Arkansas. Against the Hogs last week, Alabama rushed for 317 yards, 5 touchdowns. 206 of those rushing yards came on the legs of Jahmyr Gibbs. Here's a week where Eric Wolford and this offensive line can flex some muscle and impose its will on a young A&M defensive front. Young group. Here's Bama with a chance to flex some muscle here up front and create another game where Jahmyr Gibbs, Jace McClellan, Roydell Williams, Jamarian Miller, Trey Sanders, and these running backs can have some success because Saban wants to run this football. Saban wants to run this football, and for the first time last week, U.S. fans were screaming at Bill O'Brien, run the ball, and what happened? Ran the ball, especially in the second quarter all the way in. So for the Alabama offensive line, and for these running backs, an opportunity here to build off what you did against Arkansas and wear down a young A&M front with the run game. And so last but not least here for Alabama, win the turnover battle. This is something Coach Saban has talked about a lot. You got to win the turnover battle. You can't give up turnovers, but you got to be able to create some defensively. And so this is a huge game here for Bill O'Brien. That's the offensive coordinator. Pete Golden, that's the DC. And, of course, Coach Saban. Bama's got to win the turnover battle. Can't afford to give A&M any type of life here in this game by providing them with the short field and being careless with the football. For Alabama, they got to be able to execute offensively, defensively, and on special teams and making sure that they are winning that turnover battle. But those, to me, are the keys to the game there. Shutting down Devon A-Chain of A&M, wearing down A&M's defensive front there with the run game. And for number 3, being able to win that turnover battle. We take a break here, folks. Don't touch that dial because upon our return, we jump back into the phone lines to take your calls, your thoughts, your conversations. They're coming after this.
Don't touch that dial. Call in right now as we're taking your calls up next on In My Own Words with Stephen M. Smith. Brought to you by We Own the Fourth Quarter. Visit WeOwnTheFourthQuarter.com now to get your 4-finger bling necklace. Every sports fan deserves the proper representation. Whitwell Sports introduces to you the Title Towel. Wave that Title Towel in the air like you just don't care. In support of Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Only $9.99 and it lasts a lifetime. Head on over to WhitwellSports.com and get your Title Towel today. Touchdown Alabama Magazine is Alabama football's premier publication. A subscription to Touchdown Alabama Magazine is the perfect gift for any Alabama fan. For exclusive news and information, recruiting updates, a free annual print magazine, and more, go to touchdownalabama.com and click join. Only $7.95 per month or pay $74.95 for a full year subscription. That's a yearly saving of $20. Go to touchdownalabama.com today and roll Tide.
All right, baby, we're back into the action from the break on a Friday TGIF edition. of the show, hottest show on the streets here, covering your Bama football news. In my own words, rocking and rolling with you. Guys, shout out the man, Junior Owens, with that $4.99 in the Super Chats. Appreciate the love they're coming from Junior Owens. The daily Super Chat goes $75 daily. Super Chat goes $75. Appreciate you guys. We go to the phone. Well, we thought we had a phone line. We thought we had a phone call right there, but the phone lines are open to take your calls. Call segment brought to you by the Blue Wrench Gang, 205-448-1358. The number to call in to let your voice be heard on the show, 205-448-1358. And one more time, 205-448-1358. Going to be a fun matchup here between Alabama and Texas A&M on tomorrow. And the last beatdown that the Aggies suffered in Tuscaloosa, 2014, with Blake Sims, TJ Yield, and Amari Cooper, final score was 59-0. Do I see another 59-0 game, Eli? I don't think so. I think A&M at least gets 10, maybe 10, could be 10. We'll see. We'll see how it happens. I mean, I know for a fact that these players are ready to get after it. I mean, Will Anderson said back at SEC Media Days, we will handle Texas A&M on October 8th. And tomorrow is October 8th. Jordan Battle did the same thing back in July Media Days. And the moment everybody's waiting for is absolutely here, taking place on tomorrow. As you guys are getting your thoughts in here, I'm going to go to this awesome call topic. So, Alabama's partnership, its NIL deal with Fanatics, will be unveiled tomorrow inside Bryant-Denny Stadium. According to Athletics Director Greg Byrne, the authentic store where you can get the Bama gear, the Bama memorabilia, all the cool Bama stuff, will open tomorrow inside Bryant-Denny. This is the NIL partnership between Bama and Fanatics. Everybody talked about during the offseason, will Nick Saban be able to manage, adapt, adjust to NIL? There's your answer on screen. There's your answer right there. So the authentic store will open tomorrow at Bryant-Denny. Definitely, I'm gonna have to try. I gotta check that out, Eli. It's gonna be hard for me, but I gotta try to slip in there and check that out. May try to grab me some gear. I don't know what type of gear. Do I get a Bryce Young jersey? Do I get a Will Anderson jersey? Do I just cop just a bunch of wristbands? I don't know. Eli, you might have to come with me, man, because I'm not the focus shopper I need to be. I just walk in there and I'm just like, people sell me. Like, what do you want me to get out of here? But the authentic opens here on tomorrow. But 205-448-1358, number to call in. 205-448-1358. But I'm pumped for this game. Doesn't really matter who starts at quarterback, although I would like to see Jalen Milroe get the start. I'd like to see Ty Simpson get some work in as well. His arm talent, his ability, what he does there as a freshman coming in from Tennessee. Guy can play. Guy can flat out ball. So it'll be fun to watch this. Under the LED lighting feature in Tuscaloosa, also the 2012 BCS National Championship team will be honored. That's going to be awesome there, seeing those guys get their flowers there for bringing the Crimson Tide Championship in that year. But we'll take our final break here, folks. We'll touch that dial upon our return. Can Alabama pitch its second shutout of a season? It's going to be hard to do, but can it do it against A&M? We'll wrap it up after this.
If If you're an avid Alabama Crimson Tide fan and you love to flaunt it, then show your Alabama Crimson Tide support by grabbing the All-Bama sneakers. They feature bold Crimson Tide graphics, so no one will be able to question where your allegiance lies. When you add these sweet sneakers to your Alabama Crimson Tide collection, go to stsfootwear.com and use the code TDAlabama for $15 off your purchase. That's code TDAlabama for $15 off your purchase. Go to stsfootwear.com and get your All-Bama sneakers today. Touchdown Alabama Magazine is Alabama football's premier publication. A subscription to Touchdown Alabama Magazine is the perfect gift for any Alabama fan. For exclusive news and information, recruiting updates, a free annual print magazine, and more, go to touchdownalabama.com and click join. Only $7.95 per month, or pay $74.95 for a full year subscription. That's a yearly saving of $20. Go to touchdownalabama.com today and roll Tide. Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
All right, baby. We're back into the action here, folks, from the break. Hottest show on the streets covering your Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA on a Friday, TGIF edition of the show. Bama taking on the Texas A&M Aggies on tomorrow. Got to remind you guys of TDAwear.com. It's TDAwear.com. So for all of your swagger, sauce, drip, clothing, cultural, fashion needs, check us out right now. TDAwear.com. Get you that gear today. Go ahead right now. Make us your one-stop shop. Show that support for your brand. Show that support for your Crimson Tide. For Coach Saban, the University of Alabama, the student athletes, and us here at TDA. TDAwear.com. Get that gear today. Link in the description. Also be reminded that after the game on tomorrow, you got the TDA post-game show right here on YouTube with Justin Riley, former Alabama wide receiver Mike McCoy, two big guests, Bo Scarborough, two-time national championship running back for Alabama. Charlie Peppra, former Alabama DB, will be on. Gonna be a great show right there. Also be reminded tomorrow, the TDA watch party with John Ivory and our own Justin Smith. You can get on the watch party tomorrow right here, talking Bama football with all your friends and family right here on the YouTube channel. But we dive into now, Eli. Can Alabama get its second shutout here on defense? Pitching a shutout is hard to do. Bama got it week 1 against Utah State, but that was Utah State. You're now facing Texas A&M. Can Bama shut out Jimbo Fisher's offense? Oh, Jimbo did some talking in the offseason. Called Nick Saban a narcissist. Said his comments were despicable. Go dig into Nick Saban's past and see how he treats assistant coaches. Well, Jimbo said some things in the offseason, really did. Now, of course, he's walked back every single statement. You know, he's walked back on all of that. But can Alabama's defense get the shutout? Will Anderson, Dallas Turner, Byron Young, and the gang, can they get the shutout? This is a big chance to do that because A&M, no Anaya Smith in this game, out for the year. Devon A-Chain, yes, he's the best player on their team. But if you stop him, there's not much else for the Aggies. I know Evan Stewart is a good freshman receiver, but if you stop A-Chain, there's not much else the Aggies can really throw at you. I mean, they're playing a lot of their freshmen from the 2022 class, the number 1 class in the country. There's not that much A&M can throw at you. So, can Alabama get this second shutout? Will Anderson. This is going to be a big game for him. I mean, he's got a chance to absolutely just explode this weekend on Haynes King or the freshman quarterback should Jimbo Fisher go that route. Will Anderson has a chance to really, truly explode here this upcoming weekend from a pass rush perspective. He and Dallas Turner both do, but definitely Will Anderson, especially after last year. You know, Anderson couldn't quite get to Zach Calzada, A&M's quarterback, that as much as he would have wanted to get to Zach Calzada. So this is a big game for Will Anderson, a big game for the entire defense, and a group that's giving up 11 points per game. Solid, strong defense, 11 points per game. But after all of the talk that was done in the offseason between David and Jimbo Fisher, and with all of the pent-up build-up to this game after what took place last year, the Alabama defense has been locked in, ready to get this thing done. And even when you look at guys like DeMarco Hellams, who said that last year's game left a bad taste in his mouth and everybody else's mouth, and we're just charged up for this one. So, folks, tomorrow, I don't know where you'll be at. I'll be at Brian Denny, front and center, where this game is concerned. Eli, I hope the food in the press box is going to be good for us. I really hope that food is going to be good for us. But, as always, Bama fans, you want the best in news, notes, information, and coverage here from your Crimson Tide. You can get this by accessing the Touchdown Alabama Magazine app. You download the app from the iPhone App Store. If you're rocking Team Apple, Google Play Store. If you got the Android phone. For your audio needs, check us out, iTunes or Apple Podcast, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, TuneIn Radio, Overcast.fm, or iHeartRadio. We got you covered. The good and gracious Lord sees fit. I'll be back on Monday, continuing the conversation. It's Tide Football. Remember, Bama fans, you can purchase individual copies of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Have those sent to your door. That link in the description. If you're trying to get the fresh edition, print edition of TDA the magazine, here's what you do. You go to touchdownalabama.com. You click join. Become a member or a subscriber today. That link in the description. You're trying to get your hands on the 4-finger bling necklace, 4-finger bling jewelry, courtesy of our guys at We Own thefourthquarter.com. That link in the description too. Guys, shout out you guys, the outstanding fans of Bama football, for all the calls, all the chats, donations, all the love coming from you guys. Appreciate you making this your show, network, platform, channel, and space to talk Bama. Guys, shout out my man Eli Walker in the production studio, handling the business here on a Friday behind the scenes. Until next time, folks, husbands, love your wives. Wives appreciate, value those husbands. Children, the weekend is in, but still do the right thing, fun thing, smart thing, good thing, legitimate thing. To not be bored. Be sure to get yourself those 3 hearty meals a day, those 3 great laughs a day. You protect yourself. You protect the loved ones around you. Enjoy the game tomorrow night between Bama and Texas A&M. Until next time, folks, I'm your man, Stephen M. Smith, and you've been listening to Them Own Words.